Protests on campus is a prison break. It's an ideological prison break, and it's a fault line within the Democrat Party. And it shouldn't be happening. It's making them look bad. Their donors are upset. Anyone who has eyes to see and ears to hear is realizing that these colleges are anti-American institutions. Now, I don't think it should go as far to say, if you're committing a crime, you should be arrested, period. But if you're saying things that we don't like, you shouldn't be arrested. If you're assaulting kids, you should be arrested. If you are in places or trespassing places you shouldn't be, after many warnings, you should be arrested, period. Not difficult, but freedom of speech should be protected. Insofar, those things are not being done. Happy to spend a lot of time on the college thing. I do have to always grab. We were ahead of the curve. I wrote a whole book about this called The College Scam, which people can check out, about what is actually happening in these institutions of higher learning. And part of the problem is that they are so lacking in meaning. They're lacking in any sort of connection with the divine, the eternal, the purposeful. And they're trying to fill that existential void with protest. They think that this is a social justice cause that is similar to the Civil Rights Act or the Civil Rights Movement of the 1960s and 1970s. In fact, you get special social currency in New York young culture if you're arrested while protesting. You get points for that. You're a cool kid. You're fighting for justice. You're fighting for justice against Israel. It's a badge of honor. The Democrats have not, this is a stain for them. The longer Israel is at war, the harder it will be for Joe Biden to keep his coalition together. Not just in Michigan, but in Minnesota with his donors. He has mass defection because these colleges are the closely ideologically aligned. They are the power centers for Joe Biden. This is a perfect interview, perfect clip, I should say. This is an NYU student. Now, understand, NYU is supposed to be a good school. It's hard to get into NYU. Blake could have gotten to NYU. I don't think I had grades good enough to get into NYU. I'll be honest. I don't think I could have got in. Allegedly, the people going into NYU are smart. They know what they're talking about. They're worldly. They're well-informed. They live in the biggest city in the country. Now, I don't want to just pick on this nose ring girl because maybe she was having an off day. I don't like doing that. I do think, though, that it is a micro example of a macro problem, which is how many of these people actually protesting know anything about the Israel-Hamas, Israel-Gaza issue? Or are they told that it's a genocide? They don't think independently at college. Remember, they say diversity is our strength on campus. What they mean by that is that everyone will look different and think the same. These protests have people that are Asian and black and Indian, but they all think the same. There's no ideological diversity, and they don't even know what they're fighting for, many of them. But because we no longer have God as the centerpiece of our culture, something must replace it. And this has almost religious fervor. They feel as if they're fighting for something transcendent. We're fighting for justice against the evil colonialists. Play cut 95.
The evil
goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia, and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
Useful idiots.
Wait, why are we protesting? Wait, why are we here? She said she was up at Columbia. What's going on here? Now, understand, if she would have said, I'm just here to kind of look. I don't have strong opinions about it. But she said that she was a protester. She self-acknowledged as a participant. And so this reporter said, okay, what exactly is the cause that you're fighting for here? Now, I'm going to do something unusual. I'm well on the record, adequately documented about the moral decay on campuses. These campuses, we should seize their endowments. They should be collapsed. They should be repurposed for condominiums and for data centers. And maybe they could be taken over by Hillsdale College. If Columbia, Yale, Princeton, Harvard, Penn, and Cornell disappeared, the country would be a better place. Period. It's not even close. They are against the country. They're against Western civilization. I've been talking about that for quite some time. But I'm going to take a different detour here. It's easy to pick on the nose ring girl, which, by the way, if this is going to sound judgmental, I don't care. I inherently think less of your opinion if you have a nose piercing. I'm sorry. It's just, I can't help myself. If you're still wearing a mask outside, same category. Nose piercing, mask outside, I inherently think that you're full of ideological rubbish. And they're starting to realize it.
People are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. We take pride in rejecting 90% of our applicants, so the incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own a housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, it would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. Young people have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring the people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
Wow. That needs to be repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated.
And I don't have a lot to add to that other than anti-Semitism is something that changes and adapts, and when a society is not doing well, it picks on its Jews, and the first people to get attacked and get blamed and get scapegoated for all of society's troubles are the Jews. And the new generation is not prosperous. They are not feeling successful, and therefore they look to the Jews and they say, it's your fault that I'm not feeling good. It's Israel's fault that I'm not feeling good.